So much, Palesa. Good afternoon, Africa leading women. Good afternoon. I need to feel the energy in the room. And first, before I respond to your question, let's please put our hands together for Ms. Roberta Naiker, Ms. Renuka Merkel, and the entire team at Forbes Africa for their leadership and for being intentional in creating this platform and movement of leading African women leaders from various sectors. It's really an honor to be here with all of you, and I've just been really inspired since morning. And I'm just going to also be very honest with you. It's not really easy to make it on the Forbes list. So please, put your hands together for my sisters and those in the audience who made it on this year's over 30 under 50 women list. But let's say, you're going to just bear with me. I have my mom in the audience, and today is actually her birthday. My mom is a visionary, she's a leader, she's very transformative. And many of you know her as Mama Yvonne Chaka Chaka. So please help me wish her a happy birthday. She's somewhere in the room here with us today. So back to your question. First again, I'm very, very honored to be here today because I was actually part of the first ever Leading Women Summit in a small room. I think it was at the Nanda Club, and to see how much it has grown today, it's very inspirational, but also it shows the intentional leadership of Forbes Africa. So I am your typical story of a village girl on the global stage. And I'm not saying that to romanticize it, but I'm sharing that to show you the power of investing in girls' education. It shows you the power of giving that girl from a rural area an opportunity. Talent is universal, opportunity is not. I was born and raised by a single mom in a very disadvantaged family. And I saw how women in my family languished in poverty as a result of not having education. And I didn't want to be that statistic, but I knew that was going to be my path, right? Because there were no resources, in as much as I've always believed that I'm very talented, I'm very smart, but there were no opportunities. And I spent a lot of time with my grandmother in the village growing up, and we'll be seated outside drying millet and maize after the harvesting season, and I'll tell her that, Grandma, one day I'll be flying up there and I'll be waving at you. And she never believed it because it was such a far-fetched dream. And she was like, oh, Vivian, you like dreaming. But I told her, Grandma, one day I'll be waving at you. At that point, I didn't know even you can wave at somebody from the plane because I'd never been inside one. But I knew that if I was given an opportunity, I'll never take advantage of it.
Sure.
And I knew if I'm given an opportunity, it won't be just about me, but it will be about the women in my family, it will be about the women in my community, the women in my country, the women in my continent, because I wanted transformative change. I wanted just not for myself, but to see other people also succeed. I'm really a sister kind of a person. When I succeed, I want the girl next to me to succeed too. So I went through primary school. I was always the kid being sent home for school fees. Every time, when they named the kids who are supposed to pay Vivian Onano, I'll have to go home. But the teachers saw the potential in me. And at some point, they knew I would never pay. Because even after I'm chased, I'll still come back without the money. And at one point, they saw the potential. I was still one of the top performing students. I was a student leader. And they told me that when we send you home, just stand by the gate. And when everybody else is gone, just come back. Because they knew nothing is going to change about my situation. And that's how I went through primary education. And then that was going to be my end of education. Because even though I was a top student, my mom, I was raised by a single mom. My mom didn't have the resources to take me to high school. But it just so happened that the year I graduated from primary school, when I knew that that was going to be the end of my education, they started a girls' school in Nairobi, Kenya, for girls from very disadvantaged background who are academically talented. That is Starehe Girls Center. And I was one of the 72 girls who was admitted to this center. And going to Starehe, my life changed for the best. I had access to top education. I didn't have to worry about anything because everything was being provided there at the center. And they would even give us money to go home and come back to school. And for me, my journey has just not been about me. Going to school has been a privilege. And I want every other young girl from the village to have the same privilege. Because of the education, today I'm on this panel with all of you. Because of the education, today I sit in rooms with heads of states, ministers, policy changes, trying to transform change, trying to ensure that there's investments in women and girls issues, trying to advocate for girls' education to ensure that every child has an opportunity. Because access to education is the basic foundation for every child. And had I not had that education, today I'll be one of the statistics you're sitting here talking about, girls languishing in poverty, girls who are married off at an early age, girls who have no other opportunity, right? But then people of goodwill saw me as a person worthy of investing in. And today, I am here, not just for me, but to lead transformative change when it comes to investing in women and girls. Indeed. And that is my story.
Indeed. In fact, that does deserve a round of applause. In fact, you will echo the words of renowned visionary Nelson Mandela when he said, education is the key to success. Devon Goga.